Welcome everyone to an instructional chess video. In this demonstration, we will be showcasing a powerful trap against the pterodactyl opening in chess. It is quite effective as it is very low-key and therefore becomes very easy to fall into if you are not aware of it beforehand. It truly feels like your opponent has tricked you and gained a lot of material, when meanwhile they are the ones getting bamboozled. So the pterodactyl starts out as e4 g6, d4 bishop g7, and after knight f3 black plays c5, attacking your central pawn. Instead of defending it with c3, we will instead provoke black to continue his attack by playing d takes c5. Here black reclaims the pawn by playing queen a5 check, and after blocking check with c3, black takes pawn on c5. In this position, you may want to rush bishop e3, attacking the queen and forcing her to retreat. But in true chess spirit, we'll play a more subtle and potentially deadly move, just a3. More often than not, black will develop normally with ideas like knight f6 or retreat quickly with queen c7. These will lead to attacking games of chess where you press forward with your knight having a safe square on b5 and forcing black to defend his weaknesses. It is much better for white, but work needs to be done before you can prove you have an advantage. If black plays accurately, he should be fine. However, if playing in longer time formats, and if your opponent has good tactical vision, they may spot what appears to be an instantly winning idea. That is, bishop takes c3 check. Black noticed that the defense of the c3 pawn was given up when the knight moved, and instantly jumped ahead, as after white takes the bishop, black is given a deadly check with queen takes c3 where white's position seems to collapse and material needs to be given up. If bishop blocks check, the knight is lost. If knight blocks check, the rook is lost. If king moves, the rook is lost. If queen blocks check, the rook is lost. Everything seems losing for white. That is what makes the trap so deadly. After queen d2 blocking check, black greedily takes the rook on a1, being up 4 points of material. A bishop for a rook and 2 pawns. What a position to be in. Little does black know. He is completely lost. The game continues with knight b5, threatening a fork on c7, picking up the rook. Black defends by playing knight a6, defending the c7 square from white's advance. All seems well for black. Except the truth is, white was not after black's rook. The true intention was to trap the queen. Knight c3. The true purpose behind knight b5. The black queen is stuck in the enemy camp, restrained without any movement. This will no doubt come as a shock to black. Black now has to desperately attempt to rescue his queen, or else after castles, it will be left to die to a threat like bishop c2. We will not cover all the responses for black here, but in general the idea for white is to develop his light square bishop and castle. We will instead focus on the most common idea, which is knight f6. It is a developing move. But perhaps he is even attempting to sacrifice his knight in order to free the queen. This of course does not work, as even if the queen retreats to g7, bishop b2 will always be a thorn in black's plan, forcing him to play very passively and lock his pieces behind pawns while white happily develops. It is however an idea black might attempt. When faced with knight f6, the best way to respond is by capturing the knight on a6. This is useful because it removes a piece which could pose some trouble in exchange for a bishop which was resting in its original square, and it opens up the castling squares, accelerating the eventual demise of the black queen. After b takes a6, we play castles and black is stuck asking, how do I stop bishop b2 and losing my queen? A simple idea like rook b8 loses to bishop a3, opening up the discovery on the queen. Castling here, admitting that your queen is lost, equally loses to the same bishop a3, opening the discovery on the queen while also eyeing the weak e7 square. This is a double-edged move as opposed to the one-purposed move bishop b2, although of course both are absolutely winning regardless. So, now what if instead black plays a daring move, with knight takes e4, once again with the theme of sacrificing the knight to free the queen. This feels like the most solid approach, and it is indeed the most often played on the Lichess online database. It is however completely losing. After knight takes e4, and white recaptures on e4. The queen seems free to run to g7. This however runs into a very deadly trap. We start off by playing the obvious bishop b2, attacking the queen and rook on the diagonal, forcing black to try to hold on with an idea like f6. This however runs into the brilliant c knight takes f6 check, with the idea that if the e-pawn recaptures the knight, black is mated in 6 moves after we play rook e1 check, with king d8 being mate in 1 after queen a5, and king f8 being mate in 4 after queen d6 check, and king f7 being mate in 5 after queen d5 check and bishop a3. Therefore, black is forced to give up his queen, either after knight takes f6, or by simply castling after bishop b2. Either way, white should have no difficulty winning the game, being up material and having an amazing attacking position. I hope you enjoyed this video and this tactical trap which can be set against the pterodactyl defense. I hope this aids your preparation and forms a cool idea in your opening repertoires. Have an amazing chess journey full of nothing but growth and prosperity.